And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the House Talks podcast today. Special guest, we found Karn.
I'm back.
Go back to where you came from, bro. Get the fuck out of here.
I'm back.
Yeah, you didn't see we killed it last time?
You guys absolutely killed it. But I will say, for the record, you assholes, I'm not 42 years old. But everything else was bang on that description. The Chris Williamson podcast, that fucking killed me. That was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, if you saw the missing poster, there was some little hidden gems in
Never
there.
would have been able to find me without our subscribers. So if you like this podcast, and if I ever go missing again, guys, please like, comment, subscribe, but please share this. If you get anything out of this, please share this. And in case I go missing again, please share this because,
Yeah, which leads us into a little statement here. I guess first giveaway on the podcast, we're going to be giving away a $50
yes, sir.
The Supplement House gift card.
What is it, Arvin?
$50. You have to subscribe to the YouTube channel and follow the Instagram account, and we'll pick one winner out of that. With all your help, we were able to locate Karn.
Yes.
He came back a little zesty, but that's okay.
Absolutely, and so we'll be announcing that here in the next couple of weeks. We'll do an announcement on the Instagram, so just stay tuned. But yeah, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel and follow on our Instagram account at House Talks Podcast on Instagram, and then House Talks Podcast on YouTube. So tell us a little bit about your Europe trip. We were talking a little bit about tip-in culture and overall culture of business. What did you see? Any differences in?
Yeah, man. First off, it's really cool out there. I mean, of course, I was a tourist there. I was on vacation, so life was a lot slower. I don't know if that's because obviously I was on vacation. Obviously, that is a factor, but I don't know. It just didn't really seem so hustle and bustle. Even the people out there, like, they just seem to live a very zen life. It seemed,
relaxed,
but very relaxed, laid back. Yeah, just not a care in the world, and just very like, yeah, you know, it's all good type of thing, like those type of vibes. But speaking on the tipping culture, yeah, that's one thing I really noticed. So out there, some of the restaurants do actually include like the gratuity,
a service charge,
within the bills, which is whatever, and some don't. But tipping culture out there isn't extreme as it is here. Like, you're not going to like a sandwich shop like you do here, and then all of a sudden it's asking you for 18% tip for something that
or a Starbucks before you even get to the payment option. Do you want to tip $1, $2, $5? Like,
and then or someone getting
$3 drink, bro.
yeah, or like someone getting pissed off because you didn't tip enough. You know what I mean? And here's actually I'll bring it back. So what I noticed there was that since whether it's already included or it's not included, people really did not give a shit what you were giving after what you weren't. So like if the bill was let's just say €56, I'd give 60 euro, and I'd just keep the 4 or whatever. And they were more than happy with that. But I noticed like no one's getting salty about the fact if you tipped or how much you tipped or whatever it is. Whereas here, people get really pissed off, right? And then they say, well, servers only make this much and this and that. So tips really help us. And I sympathize with them with that. I truly do. I really hope I don't get made to be out an asshole by saying this, but how I look at it is like, well, you chose that. You chose to be a server. Like with every job, and I'm not knocking it, but what I'm saying is like with every job, there's pros. Like you may have left that night with $1,000 in tips, which is sick, right? And then there's cons. Maybe another night you didn't make that much, right? But where I'm going with this is like if you're working in a place where you're gonna get tips, like, and I see these videos of like Uber Eats or Skip, or they're returning the order, they're throwing the stuff because they didn't get tipped enough. I'm just like, that's a bunch of bullshit. You chose that job. It's up to people to decide how much they tip you based on the service you provided them. So of course, if you're giving mediocre service and you expect 18%, 20%, nah, man, like go F yourself. I've always seen that's BS. And I've worked a job growing up too where there's tips. So like I can sympathize with a lot of you that maybe work as servers or whatever it is too, or somewhere where it's tips are included. But the main thing is, the main thing is like I've noticed that they're so easygoing. Their service was exceptional. like exceptional. Like for me, I always keep an eye out for customer service. I don't know. I like, especially since we opened the store, I've always been very like I notice little things more now, right? So there I was just like, these guys are very good at what they do,
And it's
the
very
thing-
consistent.
very consistent. Like it didn't matter if
From
I
restaurant to restaurant, you will
Yeah.
have a different experience anywhere.
I honestly cannot say that I had one bad experience at any restaurant when I was there, and I went to 5 different countries out there. They were all exceptional. And then here you come here, like the salt, I've had servers where they don't even, they come ask you if you want a refill of your water, or even if you're ready to order, like they'll let you sit there for 20 minutes. I'm like, oh, sorry, I forgot. Then at the end, what they expect a tip, really? Like, no. But I've noticed that the culture there's much different. So I guess where I'm going with this little rant is like, if you work in the industry, just work for your tip, man. Put in the work. Like, be nice to people, be kind to people, put a smile on your face, and it'll go a long way. Jazzy, Arvin, when the tournaments happen in our store, especially when the American teams come in, what do they tell us?
Add a tip function.
Yeah.
They tell us always add a tip function. They're like, why can't we tip you guys? Well, we say we don't want to because we don't want to.
Just keep coming back, man.
Yeah, just keep them. That's all we're gonna keep giving you our service because this is just what we do. This is who we are. But
That's our standard.
yeah, it's our standard.
We don't do it for the tip. We do it because we want to take care of everyone who comes through the shop, right?
Exactly, and which brings me back to the next motion of AI. AI is going to change a lot of things, especially like when it comes to, I don't know, maybe accounting, finances, stuff like that. Like you can punch everything in. This new Chat GPT release, holy fuck, it's unreal, man. It's absolutely unreal. I mean, we all have it, so you guys should go on your phone. We have it under the store. Exactly. But one thing that I'm gonna say, guys, people think that it's like, yeah, maybe at a McDonald's or something where you can just kind of go to the screen and there's gonna be no cashiers anymore. That's probably true. But I feel like there's gonna be a huge focus now, especially the places that are going to do exceptionally better than the places that don't focus on it are the ones that focus on their customer service. Because at the end of the day, if you walk to a retail store or a restaurant or whatever it is, and you feel like you've been taken care of and the service is exceptional because you're the 10th restaurant and the other 9 on the block completely suck at it, you're going to stand out. So I bet you anything, there's going to be a little dwindling effect of customer service in a lot of organizations, and the ones that are going to remain at the top are the ones that give the best service.
100%. And all our guests that we've had on, in their own businesses, they give exceptional service.
a
Like
very good
they
point.
didn't get to the point where they were by giving subpar customer service and then making it big. It doesn't happen. Like you go into Holt, Farhad's there right away. Whatever you
man.
need, he takes care of it. No questions asked, smile on his face. You could possibly leave with nothing and he still will treat you with the same amount of respect as someone who's spending 1.2 million, like he said, right?
Yeah, dude.
But his service doesn't change.
True. Yeah, people are only going to spend money where they feel valued, where they feel like they're actually being helped. When the economy is good, whether you're a realtor, car salesman, or you're selling expensive clothes, whatever the hell it is, you're going to make money no matter what. That doesn't mean
Even
you're
if
good
you
at your
have
job.
shit service at that point.
Yeah, it doesn't mean you're good at your job. Even Jazzy, you can even speak on this, bro. Even being a realtor, when the market's good, everyone's selling, everyone thinks they're a good realtor. But what happens when the market's cold?
I mean, then when the market's slow, obviously you're not going to get like people rushing to get leads or whatever deals from you. So pretty much customer service, your relationship goes somewhere. The main thing is your customer service and your relationship.
Yeah.
When it's slow, that's when you got to take care of your clients better.
That-
That's when you work for your tip, which is your commission at the end of the day, right?
And that goes back to even like restaurants too, whether you're a server, right? And I don't mean to like dial in on restaurant or servers and like coming out like we're hating on them. No, that's definitely not what we're
9
trying to
times
say
out
here.
of 10, you get a great experience. at a
Exactly,
restaurant,
and then
so
you want a
don't
tip,
mind,
right?
Yeah.
It's just those outlying situations where the server just feels obligated, like they should get that 18% when they're giving no service at all, right? So what I mean to say is like if you're in that industry, and like I said, like I've worked in a job where the tips were a thing when I was in university, coming out of high school, and the thing with that is it's like you got to earn it. Right. And the thing is, it's like, let's just say if you work a commission-based job, even sometimes people are so dialed in on just making that one sale, they forget about the fact that instead of having one sale, what if I get a lifetime of sales from this customer, right? Instead of just making one big sale and just like, telling them what they want to hear, not really taking care of them, the chances of that person coming back to you are slim to none. And so you might have made, I don't know, $200, $500, whatever off that customer that one time. But what about the thousands of dollars you could have made over the lifetime? Because they only come back to you because they have a connection with you and they genuinely feel like you take care of them. Because if they feel that way, the chances are you probably are.
Yeah,
right?
And sometimes your product's not even the greatest, but your customer service is what gets people hooked, right?
Exactly.
And that's all it is. You got to hook the client in by giving them that exceptional customer service, and they're going to give you great reviews to their friends. They're going to pass it on to others, and it goes from there, right?
Exactly.
Cheaper to keep a customer than continuously getting new ones.
Exactly.
And that one customer that you keep is going to refer others, like as you said. Like
Also, even just asking how the day going goes a long way, man. Because everybody's so like stuck in their own world. No one really asks each other that, regardless, right?
Like, remember we were talking about that gentleman that came in the store talking about the smoothies, and he was super excited. He was a customer, and he like brightened everybody's day up. And imagine if like that's an employee and you do that to every single customer that walks through the door. Like, you're gonna have such a big impact.
Yeah, 100%. The customer's 100% gonna come back.
Oh yeah.
And then then your money's coming back right away.
No, it pays twice fold, man, to have good customer service. Like, honestly, I've like some ideas I was getting in my mind, like when I was like, when you're on your plane, like you can't sleep, your mind's just rushing like a million ideas. Like, I was writing like notes on my phone, like just like writing down ideas and stuff. Just sitting there like fucking like 6 more hours to go till we land. But one thing I was just like, people put on master classes for like, here's a business idea if anyone's looking, and only do it if you're good at it. But people put on courses for I don't know, for how to build an e-commerce store, how to like sales, or
Yeah, it's like we referenced it, the Skillshare app.
yeah.
stuff
So
like
like
that,
like school, like
Yeah.
Alex Ramosey's invested big in that, right? Like these communities where people teach you how to do certain drop shipping. That probably got brought up too. But one thing I was just like, people forget is putting on a masterclass of honestly customer service, because I feel like most places it's like if you're an owner, if you're a manager, I don't know, everywhere that I've ever been, no one's really taught you how to be good at customer service. It's either like people that stand out, sometimes they just say like some people just naturally have it, like they're just gifted at being good with other people. But I've never been at any establishment where this is, I think we should do this too, guys, by the way, is actually teaching your people how to be good at customer service, certain words you use, your body language, how to talk, like
100%.
the volume of about rate, how quickly you talk.
It's like when you go into
that type of
introductory
things.
courses at university too, they make you take a communications course.
Yeah, because that's one thing that I was like, I don't care like if any other supplements are out there, they might have more products than us. They might their store might be a little bit larger. They might have been around maybe for 10 years longer than we have. But I've always said this, no one will ever outshine us in the customer service department. Hands, not like go look at our Google reviews. I'll stand on business when I say that. 5-star. The only one that is, it's freaking Panda. Someone from Ontario, actually, I looked at it. Someone was like they just doing 1-star. You can click their profile and see. And they're rating a bunch of Ontario-based businesses, and it's a fake account. And then they rated us 1 star. And then we replied back to it, never replied back. But everyone else, 5 stars. And not to get cocky, but that's because that is like legitimately what we stand on, is to provide the best service.
That was our goal
we
since
can.
day one, customer service.
Absolutely. And it helps when the employees actually like where they work at.
Yes.
When the employees enjoy where they work at, the customer service almost comes second nature.
Exactly.
But if you have if you're hiring people just because they want a job or just because whatever it is, and they don't really want to be there, it's kind of hard, because then it's like forced attitude, which I think people pick up on as well.
They do.
And it's like gets into hiring. Like, you really want to hire people that want to work in the company.
100%. People that care, because you can't really teach that. You know what I mean? Like, you can teach people, why you do what you do and like why it's important, but it's going to be up to them when they walk through the doors every single day.
Do they really give a fuck?
Exactly. Exactly. And now the question for us, the challenge is becoming, it's like, how do we replicate what we do in store to now online? We have some ideas. Obviously, we've been implementing them when we get online orders and stuff like that. But we'll see. Like, obviously, I think it's gonna come down to the website experience. Like when you click supplementhouse.ca and you go on the website, like how easy it is to go through, and like how much help you're able to receive. We got some ideas that we're gonna implement. Yeah. But no, it'll be interesting, especially this day and age with AI, because it's like if everyone's using ChatGPT to do certain things, then everything's going to be the exact same.
Yeah, how do you differentiate yourselves?
Right?
Well, one thing that I actually experienced the other week was scrolling through social media and had a targeted ad, and it was a Canadian energy tea, not energy drink, energy tea company called Revita. And they had an okay ad. Like, it was pretty good, like got my attention. So I looked at their website. I was going through all the stuff. Big emphasis on the founders, big emphasis on the company being solely Canadian and really trying to grow. And I was like, okay, like they have a little 5 trial pack. Like, I'm give this a go, like see how this product is. What do they send me? A handwritten letter in the box saying like, "Hi, Connor, blah 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 blah. Like, thank you for ordering. We're growing, blah blah blah," and signed by 2 of the 3 founders.
It's funny you say that. We do the same thing.
And something
Except
like that,
Karn's writing, they probably can't read.
I typed the letter and then I signed it at the bottom. Only because I got chicken scratch.
just that in itself, I was just like, man, like if I didn't have access to lovely supplement stores like I do right now, I'd be like, I'd order from these guys consistently, because that little thing that probably took maybe 2 minutes out of the day.
100%.
But if you do that, like, there's no reason why I couldn't double, triple, quadruple your retention of customers from something super, super simple, because who the hell else is doing a handwritten letter whenever they receive a product, especially online?
Who even writes anymore, man? So doing that actually means a lot. Yeah.
Bro, my hand starts hurting when I have to write for more than like 10 minutes.
You know where I got that from? So it was I forget his name now. I just remember the concept, but I forget the names and everything. But I remember what company he ran. So it was a company. It was a startup. So they were in like the pet space. So like, you know, whatever, pet food, dog food, whatever. And they were competing against like, you know, a lot of big dogs, and how they surpassed them or caught up with them, where they eventually got bought out, is every single time people would order for them, the CEO would write a letter, sign off on it, put it in there, and people freaking loved that. They absolutely loved it. And it paid dividends. So I was like, that's a great idea, because it's like, you know, came back to the same question of how do we replicate great service face-to-face to now online. I was like, that was a good thing. So it's funny you brought that up, because we legitimately do that with all of our orders.
You know, it's off topic here, a funny story here. So I went to a pet store, the one on Highway 10 there, and 152.
That's fine.
What's it called? Bosley's?
Yeah, Bosley's.
Bosley's, so let's go there. And you know, we were talking about if your customer got to care about the job to actually be nice there, whatever. So I go there, and then the girl working there did not talk to me or anything, right? And like I was like, getting little treats for Stella, right? I don't know what the fuck she likes. I barely feed her. She's barely over, right? She gets fed.
It's not his dog.
Not my dog, right? And then she gets fed though. Don't worry about that. So I was like, "Can you help me?" She's like, "Yeah, for sure." I'm like, "What do you recommend for like a little dog, right?" She's like, "Honestly, I don't know." I'm like, "Okay." Like, what does she like? I was like, "I don't know. Like probably treats." And then whatever, talking, and then okay, I just picked her one. And I'm like, "Do you have a dog?" She's like, "No, I don't like animals." And I'm like, what the fuck?
You decided to work in a
Yo, I swear,
store?
if we hired someone by mistake and they came in, it's like, do you take this stuff? And if one of our employees ever said no, or they shamed us, I'd throw them out the door so quick.
But yeah, I looked at her, I was like, what? Where are you working?
You know what would be even funnier if she's like, no, I'm allergic to animals. And I'm like, what?
It's like hiring a personal trainer that doesn't work out themselves.
There's a lot of those.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
She's
those.
like, I'm scared or whatever. She's like, I'm just get scared of them. I don't like dogs or cats. And I was like, bro, like what the fuck?
Oh man.
Isn't that what people bring in here? Like,
Yeah.
come in here with their dogs and cats.
Yeah.
I was so confused. She's like, yeah, I just work here.
Oh man, that's why hiring people is so important too.
That was so funny. Like,
I feel like when you hire people too, like you gotta, like for now anyway, I guess we'll be better at it when we do decide to hire our next wave or whatever the hell it is. But it's like to kind of treat them like a customer, you know what I mean? And or like just you be the customer and kind of see how they kind of sell themselves to you. 100%. It's which is you know, if they're very quiet or whatever it is, which is kind of ironic because like one of our main people on our staff, Simran, when she first came, actually no, she was very bubbly during the interview, right? And then when she first started, I was like, yo, you scammed us. She was so quiet. She's great now though. Shout out Simran, she's great. Yeah.
what can I get for you? I'm like Simran, like outside voice, not inside voice.
I was like, you killed it in the interview. I was like, dude, this girl's so wicked, but she's good now. She's rock solid. Honestly, all of her stuff is, yeah. All of our staff's pretty
Simran,
good.
I can't hear you. How are they gonna hear you?
Yeah.
I'm beside you.
I don't think anyone can hear you.
Can you hear you?
Yeah. Oh man. But aside from customer service, one thing that we were talking about, kind of that we brought up was creating your own luck for your business. Creating your own luck.
Absolutely. Yeah, we were talking about how
Luck is earned.
luck is earned. And you got to put those hours in. Like the people that are more lucky are probably the people that are working harder and smarter than everybody else. Luck is the byproduct of working very, very hard and doing the things that a lot of people don't do. Like we talked about how if you do the same thing over and over again and you keep failing over and over again, you're doing the same thing and you're not pivoting, not switching up anything, and you don't become lucky, it's not because you're unlucky. It's because you're doing something that you've proven to yourself doesn't work. But if you keep trying to better yourself, if you keep trying to put in more work than everybody else, lucky's just a byproduct of what you're doing.
Yeah, it's like banging your head against the wall at that point.
It's
How
true.
long are you gonna do
I
that?
thought you were
before-
going to say something completely different.
Connor, cut from here, and we're gonna
Honestly, just like,
Cut.
keep it. It'll
Keep it?
be
Okay.
funny, yeah.
Oh, okay. Never mind, Connor. Don't cut from here. And we're back. We're back on from now.
Yeah, a few of us had a rough night last night. So the thought process is not the greatest. Right?
Oh my
You
god.
just had to celebrate that Karn was back.
Yeah.
Without Karn. I'm gonna get shit faced. Karn's back. But Karn, you stay home. You stay home.
Don't worry, boys. I'll get you next time.
It's like, we can't lose you again, man.
No, but it's like banging your head against the wall, right? How long are you gonna do it before you start realizing it hurts and it's
You
Not
knock
doing
yourself out,
anything.
man.
Straight up.
Absolutely. Yeah, you look at people like Kobe Bryant, like Connor McDavid, all these like star athletes, like a lot of people would consider them slightly lucky. And obviously they're talented, but it's like they're just working harder than everybody else. Like you create your own luck. And if you like, especially if you just go through and you know what the things you shouldn't be doing are, it's a lot easier to become lucky, quote unquote.
100%. It's like I think we were talking yesterday about all the NHL players and all the brown players that have come up through the system. One of the like biggest names to come out from BC at least was Kevin Sunder, but one of the most skilled players, 7th overall in the Bantam draft, ripped it up, but then Buffalo, and then nothing fucking happened. You gotta work harder than everybody else in the room, even if you have that talent.
100%. Whether you're an athlete or even if you own your own business, because like the notion is this, that there's a notion out there that people say if you stick around for a long enough period of time, you will succeed. I agree. However, if you're doing the exact same thing, let's just say year 1 to you're doing the exact same thing and you just sucked that entire time, and you're not changing anything, you're just like, no, I'm just gonna ride this out, something good will come out of it. Probably not. The reason why people say that if you stick around long enough, you will make it. If you just survive, you don't give up, that's true. But the thing with that is what people don't talk about is that throughout that time is that you're failing and you're learning. You're implementing new things. You're figuring out where you're going wrong, and now you're you're implementing the new change, and then now your business is growing, or you're growing as an athlete, or whatever it is. It's not that you just stick around like, yeah, something's gonna change, But if you have the same bad habits, right? Like you can't focus. You know, you're partying like an idiot. You have bad spending habits in your business. You don't know how to budget. Your customer service sucks. You don't work with your team. You just you hire whoever, let them stand there behind the counter. And you're not getting the right products, and you're not working on your products, you're not working on your service, and you just think it's eventually one day it's going to happen. I'm sorry, it probably isn't. Then you're just probably banking on the fact that the competitor down the street
Closes down eventually.
closes down eventually, and then they have no choice but to go to you. But guess what, dumbass? Someone else is probably going to open it up and do it better than you. So, and that luck may only last for a little bit, right? So it's like, same thing we talked about before. Are you looking for a job to create for yourself, or are you looking to actually build a business and scale it and do all the right things?
Yeah, quote unquote lucky people never rely on luck, but unlucky people will always rely that they'll be lucky in the future.
Yeah.
Because there is some luck involved, 100%. You can't say
Yeah.
that there isn't.
Yeah, if you're trying to win the lottery.
Yeah.
But that's
100%.
not life, right? It's like if we put 100 episodes out and we were getting 500 views an episode, we're doing something wrong, because that's a lot of time wasted doing this.
I actually saw this Gary Vee clip the other day, and it was this girl. She came to him, and she was just like, I've put out 50, 60 videos or whatever it was. And she's like, I'm only still getting, like you said, often like 5 views, 10 views, or whatever it is. And Gary goes, okay. He's like, yeah, I always talk about volume. Just put it enough. You'll get better. You'll do good. And he goes, however, he's like, this is actually one situation where you got to change something up here. And I think this ties it really into what we're talking about. He's like, you got to change something up and stop. You could still put out those videos. He's like, but you got to change something. You got to figure out what it is. Why aren't people continuing to watch? Why aren't you getting hits? And yeah, like I feel like you got to pay attention. That you got to pay attention to your numbers. Like you got to, like, you may be a businessman or an entrepreneur or whatever you want to call yourself, businesswoman. But like, if you're not paying attention to what's working, what isn't working, then you're just gonna get left behind eventually. right? Like even for us, we have good months, we have bad months. And guess what? When we have bad months, why do we have bad months? Because when we go back and we look at the whole picture, it's like, okay, I was like, holy shit.
It's
like,
details we've missed.
Yeah, details we've missed. And we didn't do enough. And when we've it doesn't matter. We could have done them for freaking 8 months in a row, a year in a row. But if you walk away for like a month or so because you got your head held high, you're gonna get reminded and you're gonna get humbled really, really quick. Because guess what? There might be a competitor opening up down the street. You know what I mean? That's competing with you, or people just you're not reminding people. You're still too new. We're not even 2 years in.
We're still around.
Yeah. Putting that Bindi Joe.
You got another thing coming.
I'm still around.
Yeah, like you're gonna have to work the hardest in your entire life to achieve your goals, and you're gonna have to work 10 times harder than that to maintain them. And it's like that's the issue. People get a little cocky, they get a little wind under their sails, and they think they can just coast. And that's not how it works, because there's somebody else that's more hungry than you, and that's in the same position than you, that's working harder.
You can't be complacent. That's the biggest thing. You can go on. There's a point where you get to a certain level where you can coast a little bit, but you can't get complacent. Your processes, your details still have to be sharp. And if you do that, you'll continue to grow. But as soon as the complacency starts to come in, that's when you start to see the downward spiral.
Yeah. And
I love it when I talk and I'm saying something like good, Karn just stares me in the eyes and it's just like, oh, wife's calling.
no, but it's
He's
true.
in trouble.
Yeah. Where are you? No, but and then the other question is it becomes it's like, okay, well, I know we're talking very broad here, so let's actually bring it in a little bit for a viewership who is listening and trying to get better. Well, it's like, how do you do it? Right? How do I do this? Like, I would say first and foremost, write it down. Write down like what actually works. Right? Write down new ideas, whether it's like an Excel sheet of your budget.
Someone was saying that they're like writing down the problem solves 90% of the problem itself.
Yeah.
I don't know who it was, but I've heard that before. Right? It was like if you can write down the problem,
Because you understand it.
you actually start to understand it. It's in front of you.
Yeah.
If it's just in here, there's gonna be a new thought in your head 10 minutes down the line. Right?
Exactly.
Like we're on a topic, and if a bird flies out, I'm like, oh,
Then you forget.
right?
Look at that painting. There's like a million thoughts on that thing. I get confused every time I look at Arvin. Like, what's going on here?
Well, like even here, like off topic now, but if we have it written down, well, whatever the case is, obviously we're more of we go off the flow of things here. But if you have it written down,
Those things are getting done.
yeah, those things you have to get it done because it's right in front of your face at all times, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like I was gonna show this. Like you probably can't see it if you're listening to whatever, but like I got my phone. Like I got shit written down like all the time. And even when we're in the store, we're scribbling on a piece of paper or whatever it is, because you keep it fresh in your mind. But write that shit down, man. Because if you can't, like Arvin said, you can't write it down, then you probably don't even know what your problem is to begin with.
Exactly.
Right? Because then once you write it down, you're just like as you're writing it down, you're just like, oh, wait, I just missed something. I was like, I actually know the answer to this, but I never thought of it that way. Because you get sidetracked, right? And if you have it written down, you can always refer back to it because if we have a slow month, we know exactly what to do to bring it back up the next month. Like, no doubt in my mind. Like, June's coming up. I know what we're going to do, and I know we're going to crush it, right? Like, and that's just what it is. You got to figure out what your formula is, right? Our store is in Abbotsford. Yes, we opened up online. Online's another beast that we're figuring out. So far, so good, but we're figuring it out. But our store in Abbotsford would probably be a little bit different than if we had a store in Langley or in Surrey or in Vancouver or in freaking Calgary or whatever it might be, right? It's not a one size fits all, but do a little bit of research. See what gets people going in your community, what makes them want to come to you, whether it's a language thing, whether it's certain products you carry, or both, right? But figure it out, write it down, and attack it. You got to attack it hard. And the other thing is time, man. You can't just write it down and let it sit there for a week or 2 weeks, you know what I mean? Especially if you've made promises to other people too, you gotta hit it hard.
You look at like athletes, like win or lose, you're still looking at the game tape. And it's like for us, it's like the podcast, like we look at our earlier episodes as well and see like all the improvements that we've made. And that's how we identified how we had to make improvements, whether if it was the video color and if it was the audio quality, if whatever it was.
Our own confidence. We can all look in the camera and be like, what up?
We didn't even release our first episode.
Oh yeah. Maybe we'll release that at the 100th one. That was so bad.
That was awkward as fuck.
Yeah.
I have to see this one.
Oh,
Because what you guys have said.
I think I burned the hard drive.
Staring into the camera like, hey guys.
Literally, that's what it was. A straight line. We had to get a little buzz, a couple tequila shots, a couple beers. Yeah. It's like, all right, let's do this. And we're like, hi guys.
Yeah, like it's important looking at things like without an ego as well. It's just like nobody's perfect. Like acknowledge your mistakes because you've made some. If you think you haven't made any mistakes, either you're lying to yourself or you're really not working hard enough. And yeah, you just have to journal it, either write it down. If you're in an industry like us where everything's filmed and we can literally just look at it, that's important as well. But yeah, just keep track of where you're making mistakes. Like you always have to evolve, always have to grow, and it's just part of the game.
100%. Because even in everyone that we've had on that are doing really well in their businesses as well, they've all failed or were not good when they first started, but they figured it out. But the main thing is, it's like if you pay close attention to them, they've all said, it's like I was messing up here, and I came back, I fixed it, and boom, there you go. Here we're off to the races.
Absolutely. Like if your first attempt, your first video, your first sales call, or whatever that is your best version of that, that's not good. It's not good for longevity.
The first one's always the hardest too.
Absolutely. Like right now, it's like we can sit down and bust out a podcast just like that. Where before it was a little bit more strenuous.
Yeah, even without Karn there, like we were like.
Yeah, there was some real concern. We're like, what are we gonna do here?
Yeah,
and
but if that was
ended up
like,
being great.
If that was like third or fourth episode in, we would all be like,
We would have scratched it, not even do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
we wouldn't have an episode last Wednesday, right?
Yeah, and it's like that was a great indication that even though we don't have 100% of the team, we still perform.
100%.
I
Greatest thumbnail to ever exist too.
Absolutely. I'm putting that shit on a t-shirt, man.
But if you get a t-shirt made, you're getting me one too.
On a stringer.
Yes. Oh. Coming to the thumbnail soon.
If you want Karn stringer, let us know.
Yeah. No, honestly, this podcast has grown a lot. I never would have guessed 5 months into starting this thing, the traction that we've gained, the followers that we've gained. One of our videos has a freaking million views.
Yeah, the reels.
For God's sakes, this is absolutely nuts. It's growing really, really fast. And thank you to everyone that watches. Honestly, guys.
Even George, we saw him yesterday.
Yeah.
And we were talking, and I'm like, how's it going? How everything going? He's like, how'd you get the podcast? It was unreal. I'm like, did you hear anything back? He's like, they had for sheriff's training or 50th anniversary, something like that.
Some like retreat for.
And
all
he's
the
like,
sheriffs.
everybody came up to me, and all they wanted to do was talk about the podcast.
Really?
Yeah.
Bro,
He's like, I was like, that's sick, bro. I'm
That's
happy that
amazing,
worked out.
man.
He's like, it's all they want to fucking do, talk about the podcast. They didn't ask how I am.
He was like, all the brown uncles that I work with, he was like, they just kept going, you're a celebrity now.
We couldn't have that happened to a better guy, though. You know what I mean? That guy deserves some recognition. He's a good guy.
I drove by one of his Spartan security
did you?
cars on the highway the other day, and I was like, hey, I know that vehicle.
Yeah.
No, it's cool to see it's actually helping people out in the way too, right?
man.
Maybe not only helping, just some exposure, right?
Yeah, that they
Getting to
deserve.
know people like behind the scenes of how someone actually is.
Yeah, because honestly, they're all brilliant, man, in their own way. Like, they all offer, like, we've learned something from every single guest that we've had on.
Absolutely. And it's like, yeah, we have so much talent in the Lower Mainland area, and it's just like...
And
it's
everybody's
been
story is so unique, man. Everybody's
Absolutely.
different.
Boys, think about it. Like, Vancouver is one of the most sought-after places to live. Like, cost of housing, cost of living here is very expensive, which means a lot of people here make a lot of money. And it would make you think, oh, is that just luck? No, it's because we got a lot of people that are very, very good at what they do here.
Absolutely.
If anybody ever comes across us and wants to come share their story
Yeah.
or have a good conversation, hit us up.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't think we're not reachable. Like, we'd love to sit down with people. If you got a good story, if you're in business and you want to share some advice with people, like, absolutely.
Yeah, Karn's personal number is 604.
Karn, without a doubt, would respond to every single person. Though.
Oh,
I'm
man.
going to get a voice note.
Yeah.
From Panda.
From Panda. Yeah, our enemy, Panda. No, man. But no, from everyone that's subscribed, that shared this podcast, that enjoys tuning in every single week, thank you very much. We're going to continue to keep doing our very best at this thing, create our own luck. And we got big plans for this thing, man. 2024 so far has been a great year. We're almost halfway through, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it flew by. And
We started this conversation in November.
yeah, it'll be cool. I feel like we'll do a nice year in review after the 6 months. 6 months are kind of done, and which is crazy. Holy crap!
That's just crazy. We're in the 20s for the episodes.
Yeah,
now.
the 20s now. So It went top 1%. Exactly. But no, thank you very much, guys. Keep sharing, keep subscribing. And we promise that we are going to do that.
Please subscribe. The more you subscribe, the more we can do cool stuff and give back to you guys listening.
Yes.
Absolutely. Reminder, we're giving away that $50 gift card.
That number will keep increasing.
Follow.
Maybe we bump that up if we get to 1,000 subscribers.
Absolutely.
Maybe it'll be a bigger package. So subscribe, like, share.
And guys, for those of you listening, we have a special going on right now. Buy one, get one 35% off in the supplement house. But if you cannot make it to Abbotsford, we got buy one, get one 30% off. Mix and match the entire store as well. And that's free shipping over $99. So you are saving on shipping as well. Feel free to check us out. And
If you guys like our reels, Connor does all of our work. Any businesses want to grow, hit up CGS Collective.
There we go. Absolutely. Can't take any time away from these guys, but I'll be sure to help you out.
yeah,
Big dog.
big dog. And until next time, guys, be good.